You invest in your team. You send them to training. You coach them. You expect them to grow. But let me ask you something. When was the last time you invested in you? Not for optics, not because someone told you to, but because you wanted to elevate your game. See, I see a lot of senior leaders plateau because they stop working on themselves. Businesses evolve, markets shift, responsibilities increase. If you don't evolve at the same pace, the business will outgrow you, and so will your influence. Today, I want to talk about the skill most leaders neglect and why it's costing them more than they realize. Let's dive in. Here's the part no one warns you about. The higher you go in business, the less anyone stretches you. See, early in your career, growth is automatic. You're constantly evaluated, you're coached, you're pushed. And even when you're wrong, someone points it out and tells you. But once you become a senior leader, no one designs your development anymore. It's because you spend all your time designing everyone else's. And without realizing it, you shift from being the student to being the answer. That's when leaders plateau. Not because they stop caring, but because they stop being challenged. And when the challenge disappears, so does growth. I call this the leadership growth gap. You invest heavily in your team's development, but you quietly assume your, quote, experience is going to carry you forward. Trust me when I say this, it won't. The environment shifts, technology evolves, expectations rise, decision cycles compress. If your thinking isn't evolving at the same pace, your judgment slowly becomes outdated. Not overnight, gradually. And here's the part most leaders don't want to hear. Your team can outgrow you, not in title, in capability. And once that happens, your influence doesn't disappear, it erodes. Because influence follows growth. It looks subtle. It looks like you're using the same playbook you used 3 years ago. You answer questions faster than you ask them. You stop seeking new perspectives. You surround yourself with people who always agree with you. You're still performing, but you're no longer growing. The best leaders I work with never assume they arrived. One executive I coached blocked 2 hours every Friday to sharpen his skills. This was non-negotiable. No meetings, no phone calls, no catch-up work, just time for him to elevate his game. He reviews key decisions, studies emerging trends, challenges his own assumptions, and he gets coached. When I asked him why he protected that time so fiercely, he said, if I don't upgrade my thinking, I become the bottleneck. That's it. See, high performers don't wait for growth. They schedule it. Because if growth isn't intentional at senior levels, it doesn't happen. If you want to close the leadership growth gap, start here. First, re-enter student mode. Not publicly, internally. Read material outside your job description. Challenge your beliefs. Invite disagreement. Learn to ask better questions. Growth begins the moment you stop assuming you know everything. 2, protect thinking time. Not just task time. Dedicated time to think strategically, to reflect, to review your decisions, to reevaluate priorities, to challenge your assumptions, to time to look ahead instead of reacting to what's right in front of you. If your schedule is full, but your thinking isn't evolving, you're busy but not better. And third, create friction on purpose. At senior levels, feedback gets filtered. People hesitate to challenge you, so you must create environments where they can. Coaching one-on-ones, peer forums, advisory conversations. Growth requires some positive friction, and friction doesn't show up automatically at the top. So why does this matter now? The pace isn't slowing down. AI is accelerating decisions. Markets are shifting faster. Talent expectations are changing. Strategic cycles are shorter. The gap between adaptive leaders and outdated leaders is widening. If your leadership model hasn't evolved in the last 12 to 18 months, you're already feeling it. More second guessing, more effort for the same results. Your team does not need a perfect leader, they need a progressing one. Because environments that are quickly evolve, static leadership gets exposed. Here's the truth. You can't demand growth from your team if you're not modeling it yourself. Leadership isn't a destination, it's discipline. And the moment you stop evolving, your influence starts to shrink. Not because you lost authority, because you stopped growing. So here's the real question. Are you investing more in your team's growth than your own? because eventually the ceiling on the organization becomes a ceiling on the leader. And if you want different results this year, it won't come from doing more. It'll come from becoming better. Upgrade yourself. The business, your team, everything else will follow. If you're ready to elevate your leadership, brand, and influence, I got something for you. Download my free ebook, The CEO Shift. Empower your leaders to think like entrepreneurs and lead like owners. Inside, I'll walk you through how to elevate your leadership, how to drive alignment, and how to build a high-performance team that truly owns the mission. If you're not quite ready for that yet, that's cool. Then let me send you a signed copy of my latest book, Freedom to Experiment. It's about reigniting energy, sharpening focus, and building momentum that lasts. I'll cover the cost of the book. All I ask is you to handle shipping. Hit the link in the description, and we'll take care of the rest. If this message hit home today, here's how you can help others find it. First of all, give this video a like. Drop a comment below related to your business, and of course, subscribe. Because every week I'm sharing strategies to help you and your team embrace change, focus your efforts, and accelerate results. Remember this, you're just one idea away. I'll see you in the next video.